super tripped out by it?
Well, I expect that like influx of, you
want this
energy music. Yeah, I expect that, but still, I'm like trained on that.
Do you have the beat, Frank?
Then we come in at like the coffee house music.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome. We got a fun one lined up for you here. Special day, as we're on a couple days before Christmas. Obviously, couldn't do the live stream on Christmas because that's on a Wednesday, and we're not going to do a live stream on Christmas. Well, maybe we will. Maybe I'll live stream like on Instagram or something from my from the family party that I'll be at.
Christmas Eve.
Here's what we're getting to today. We have 2 movie drafts, Val Kilmer and Mel Gibson. We're going to get to some things that you didn't know about the Hateful Eight, Black Mirror Bandersnatch, that's that Choose Your Own Adventure episode, plus 12 Monkeys, the movie. Well, I believe they did a TV show, too.
Maybe.
You think I was talking about like actual 12 monkeys?
My first thought was the Everglades and the monkeys that were loose on there, or the ones in Ocala that have herpes or gonorrhea, whatever it is.
All the diseases. We're going to get to some Sporcle quizzes. Stanley would have been celebrating his birthday coming up, so we're going to do, I have 3 Marvel quizzes where it shows pictures of Marvel characters, and Frank is going to have to point out who is who in these pictures.
Whom is whom?
Also, a John Voight movie draft. We're going to test Frank's knowledge on John Voight. Now, here's the fun part. So we're not going to get to the toys. I know that that was a fun thing that we did last week where we talked about the big Christmas toys when we were growing up. I'm going to kind of roll that into next year where we're going to start utilizing eBay more. And we're just going to start looking up random crap up on eBay and kind of going from our childhood and seeing if it's, maybe you got a little prized possession sitting in your closet. Who knows? But instead, what we're going to do is that we have a lot of movies isolated that are going to be celebrating big anniversaries here in 2025. So that's 1985, 1990, 1995, and the year 2000.
In the year 2000.
I was really hoping you would do that. The Conan O'Brien thing. You know what, Frank? You get a point just for that.
Yes.
So what we're going to do is I went to ChatGPT and I had it poorly describe movies from those years. And we're breaking it down between 85, 90, 95, and 2000. And Frank is going to have to guess the movie that I'm describing that's poorly written by AI. Think you can do it, Frank?
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
Are you up to the task, if you will?
Up? Is that one of them?
No, because that one came out well after 2000. So no, it's not.
I took a shot.
Oh, but first things first, we're going to get to some YouTube polls here. Did we cover the Steven Spielberg one? We did, didn't we? Last week?
I don't recall.
Well, we'll do it again here. What is Steven Spielberg's best movie? Because we did a Steven Spielberg movie draft.
I think we did.
So the options are Schindler's List, Jurassic Park, Jaws, and E.T. What one?
Yeah, I went with Jaws, and I think E.T. was winning it, wasn't it?
Wrong all the way around. Jurassic Park, 50%. Schindler's List, 25%. The 2 that you mentioned coming in last.
Oh, all right, cheers.
All right, next YouTube poll here. Oh, actually, yeah, we covered all of these because I'm relating it to it being a week ago. Because we
Polls might have changed.
Did we cover the who had the best entrance in Spider-Man No Way Home? We did, didn't we?
Yep.
Yeah, it was Tobey Maguire. He won that poll.
Tobey Maguire, the OG.
And then I believe we even covered what is the best Star Wars trilogy, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. All right. Now here we are.
OG.
Here's one.
Here's
and I also forgot to mention, pretty much all of tonight's live stream written by AI. I was struggling to get everything done. Normally what I do when I'm doing the things you didn't know is I'll look stuff up and then I cross-reference it on multiple sites to make sure that it's accurate information. And this time I literally just typed into ChatGPT, give me 5 random facts about the Hateful Eight.
We're actually AI too.
We are all AI. All right, if you could have any superpower, which one would you choose?
See, look, it's just one hand.
Huh?
That's one hand. The AI screwed up.
If you could have any superpower, which one would you choose? Teleportation, mind reading, flight, or invisibility? What do you think won the poll?
Man, because there's.
And on a side note, which one would you want?
Well, one I'd want flight, just because you could go around. But I think there's a lot of freaks out there. They're going to take invisibility.
Is that what you're
because
going
that
with?
just opens. Yeah. Oh, okay. Not a lot of freaks. Thank God.
Teleportation came in.
Oh, well, that's probably
54% of the vote, man. And then pretty much all the other ones hovered right around 14, 15, and 16%. It went invisibility, mind reading, and flight came in last.
Wow. How the times have changed.
All right, next YouTube poll. You can never have one of these foods again. Which one are you getting rid of? Burgers, tacos, or pizza?
Is it pineapple pizza?
Any pizza.
I'll tell you, I'm perfectly fine with not having pizza. Because I think I've kind of ate myself out of pizza in the last few years.
Okay.
So I'm going with pizza. Burgers?
This was no, tacos.
Wow, tacos, really?
62% of people chose tacos.
They're eating the wrong kind of tacos.
I was about to say, clearly they're not eating the right tacos there. But yeah, 62%. 20% of people voted to get rid of burgers. Only 18 voted to get rid of pizza. Next YouTube poll, what is Samuel L. Jackson's best movie? The four options I put up there: Black Snake Moan, Die Hard with a Vengeance, Pulp Fiction, and A Time to Kill.
Pulp Fiction won that one, right?
Yeah, landslide, man. 77% of the vote.
Should have put Snakes on a Plane. I would have taken it.
Next YouTube poll, do you leave cookies out for Santa? Option 1, of course. He's working all night and needs food. Number 2, no, obesity is not a joke. And number 3, what?
What?
What do you think?
Wait, visited Stone Cold's house? What?
What do you think won the poll?
I'm going to say yes. I think that's still somewhat of a decent tradition.
Yeah, 59% of people said yes. They still leave out food. Look at our cookies for Santa. Final YouTube poll. Here's a big one for you, Frank. You ready?
That's what she said.
What was the best 80s action figure series?
Ooh.
G.I. Joe, He-Man, Thundercats, or Transformers?
I
know, right?
I would say I think it's a toss-up between Transformers and G.I. Joe, but I'm going to go with G.I. Joe because the action figures were cheaper.
No.
Oh.
Landslide victory. 59% of people voted for Transformers. G.I. Joe came in second. He-Man came in third. Thundercats coming in fourth.
So close. Remember they were like $1.99 each for their little characters? I mean, they're only this big.
I remember I always wanted Thundercats toys and I never got them.
It's just one of those things like my grandparents were where I could spend $2.99 and I could get like 10 of these action figures for them, or just buy one Transformer or whatever for like $15. So they'd always go with, I'm gonna get more, instead of spending, $15 on just one.
Yeah, makes a point. Oh, Anna just jumped in the chat. I had no idea you were streaming tonight. Hi and bye. Well, if you've been paying attention, I've said it the last 4 live streams, because I can't do it on Wednesday because it's Christmas Day. And then also next week, heads up, we're going to be on Monday as well, because next Wednesday is New Year's Day. Frank, are you ready, my man, for your first movie draft? You got a couple of points, so you're going to get to go first.
Val Kilmer?
Yeah, so hold on here. Let me get
Love Val Kilmer.
Here we go.
Not as much as I love Ryan Gosling.
All right, Val Kilmer, celebrating a birthday December 31st, 1959. Frank, you get to choose first in our triple feature movie draft. So essentially what we're doing is we are trying to build the best triple feature draft style. So Frank will go first, I will go second. IMDb's ratings will go third. And then once a movie is chosen, it's off the board. Nobody else can pick it. So Frank, what is your first Val Kilmer movie?
I was looking at it and I was kind of worried that I might not get the ones I'm looking at, but there's so many good ones that I'm not quite worried. So my first one I'm actually gonna go with, because I'm gonna give you one because I know that you're gonna.
You know what I'm gonna pick? I know what you're gonna pick.
Yeah. What?
Are you going with The Doors?
No, I'm going with Heat.
Oh, look at you going a little bit rogue, actually. Why is that so small? Get up there.
Like I said, I mean, there's so many that I could go with right now, but I think they'll be there when that comes back around to me. So yeah, we're going to, because I think Heat would go. I think the random one would take Heat first. So I'm going Heat.
All right, well then I get to go first, and you're gonna guess exactly what I'm going with.
Tombstone.
Hell yeah, buddy. Oh, it's such a good movie. Did you ever
Justice is
see?
coming.
Did you ever see the Parks and Recreation episode where it's Ron Swanson's birthday, and Leslie he's afraid she's gonna like throw him this big party, and so he's trying to avoid her when really all she does is she gets him his own private room with a bottle of whiskey, a gigantic steak, and I think it's Bridge Over the River Kwai playing in the background. So he just gets to sit there by himself with a whiskey and a steak and that movie. And the more that I think about it, I'm like, that is what I want, except just swap the movie out with Tombstone. That would be the greatest birthday ever. Give me like a nice bottle of Redbreast 12.
Redbreast.
I knew that was going to cause chaos when I said that.
Sorry.
It's a type of whiskey, Frank. And Tombstone, and we're good to go, man. All right, so we are going to move over to the IMDb here. And actually, number 1 on IMDb, number 2 is Tombstone, number 3 is Heat. Number 1 is
Top Gun, right?
The Doors.
Oh, it's The Doors.
It is
Wow.
The Doors. All right, so we got to do The Doors.
I mean, that one was good, but it was like historically inaccurate. It was almost like Queen. Like,
Yeah.
there were so many things that were just inaccurate in that movie. But
And
he
then
acted his ass off.
Second movie, yeah, he did. The second movie that's going on, based on IMDb, Wonderland.
You know what that's about?
Isn't it John Holmes?
Yeah, the adult film star actor. And then
Yeah, because I
him just-
believe Jonathan Davis covered a Neil Diamond song, "Love on the Rocks." I think that's what he covered it for.
It's like towards the end of his life, he just like killed like what was it, 2 people in his house.
Yeah, he went pretty berserk, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
It is. So I'm gonna have to try to figure out what it is I want to do here, because
There's a lot out there.
there are, and you talked about there being a movie, like ones that you think would still be around.
Mm-hmm.
There's one movie that I hope like. I'm gonna wait on it because if we're talking Val Kilmer, I have to pick Top Gun. I have to. But now you get to go back to back, and I'm hoping that you don't swipe one of the ones that I wanted.
Okay, well, first off, I'm gonna go with the one that saved the movie industry. That's Top Gun Maverick, because I
Does he
like
have a
that
big
they
enough
brought.
role in that?
He does. He's in there for a good 5 minutes. He can't.
No,
He
well, I
can't.
didn't.
he
There you
can't
go. You
talk.
get the same movie poster because I didn't actually go to the trouble of
I
downloading
gotcha.
it.
And then my last one is gonna be Real Genius.
Oh crap! I downloaded the wrong one. I know what you're talking
Is
about.
it Spanish? El Real Genius.
God, I forgot about that. Hold on. I'm downloading that now because I totally forgot. Let me see here. Let me get this real quick so that we can show people. God, there's not a good quality freaking.
It's a great '80s
why I
flick,
didn't,
everybody.
because it is a great '80s flick, but there's not a good high-res movie poster.
Look it up.
Whatever.
They can Google
I'll
it.
download it later. But yeah,
This
so
is
Real
all AI.
Genius is good. That's the one where the laser shoots into the house and pops all the popcorn.
Giant all the popcorn.
Yeah,
Fills
it's
the
great.
guy from the prick from Ghostbusters. Fills his house full of popcorn.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
a prick in like
Oh,
every
yeah.
'80s movie. He was just a straight douche.
Well, that leaves me with mine that I wanted,
Leaves you with yours.
The Saint.
The Saint.
I remember watching this, and this
No,
one.
no Batman Forever.
Do you remember going to Blockbuster or Hollywood Video or whatever, and then you would just pick a movie, but that movie has now stuck with you for 30 plus years? Because that's kind of what happened here. I don't even think I chose this movie, but whoever I was with when we were at Blockbuster at the time, somebody chose this movie, and we all ended up watching it, and I liked it. I thought it was a great movie. Highly recommend. And now we're going back to old IMDb.
Yeah.
Here's a few other options. This is one I thought you might go with. Remember Top Secret?
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Really?
Now I've seen bits and pieces, but not all of it. I thought you were going to
it's
go
your
with
typical
Willow,
cheesy, hokey kind of a movie. I'm surprised this one didn't get picked. Have you ever seen Kiss Kiss Bang Bang?
No, but I heard it's really good. But yeah, I'm surprised you didn't pick Willow. I thought you were going to go for Willow.
No. Also, watch it now because I believe it kind of falls into like a Christmas movie because it takes place during the holiday times.
God.
There's also The Ghost in the Darkness.
That's a good. It again, historically inaccurate, but that's a really good movie.
What else do we have here? Oh, and then we have The Island of Dr. Moreau.
Such a weird. Did you ever hear like the stories about that movie?
I in all honesty, I can't wait to do a things you didn't know about The Island of Dr. Moreau because there's like it's almost
Wild,
anything
dude.
involving Marlon Brando later on in his life deserves its own Hearts of Darkness.
Just wild.
Wild, man. It's wild. But for the third pick, going to IMDb, Thunderheart.
All right. I saw that a long, long time ago. Don't remember too much about it though.
Thunderheart.
Surprised you didn't
So
go with
that is
Deja
your
Vu.
Val Kilmer triple feature movie draft. Frank's triple feature includes Heat, Top Gun Maverick, and Real Genius. I have Tombstone, Top Gun, and The Saint. And then the IMDb rankings gets The Doors, Wonderland, and Thunderheart.
I don't think the IMDb rank will do very well this week because I don't know if too many people have actually seen Wonderland.
So in case you didn't know, I do post these up later on. I put them up on Instagram and Facebook and at The Real Brandalorian, by the way. And if you want, go check that stuff out because then I basically say who drafted the best one and people vote and say who they think picked the best triple feature. And I don't think that one's going to do very well, but we could be surprised. Who knows? It might shock you, Frank. It might shock you.
Hey. Crazier things have happened.
All right, things that you did not know about the Hateful Eight. I don't know why I said it that way. I kind of want, as I was prepping for this, which by the way, I'm just warning everybody right now, pretty much the entire script that I'm going to go into right here, it was written by AI. So if one of these facts are wrong, let me know in the comments. But I wanted to watch this. It's not streaming anywhere right now. Because when I originally watched it, I was bored out of my mind.
A lot of talking, a lot of dialogue.
It is. But like, Quentin Tarantino's really good at dialogue. So I'm wondering if it was my own. See, and here's the thing. Godfather sucks. Boring as hell. Tried multiple times to watch it. But The Hateful Eight, I only watched, I think, like that one time. So I need to figure out if it was my mindset at the time or if it really was just a boring movie.
About an hour and a half of just dialogue and then 5 minutes of
shooting
debauchery at the end. Yeah.
So it was released on Christmas Day, December 25th, 2015. The budget was about $44 to $62 million, and it made $156.5 million at the box office. Now, did you know the script for The Hateful Eight was almost abandoned?
Okay.
Quentin Tarantino originally considered shelving The Hateful Eight after the script leaked online in 2014. However, after a successful live reading of the script, he decided to move forward with the film.
North Koreans?
I was going to say China, but that's just me. Now, the movie was shot in Ultra Panavision 70. You notice the Ultra Panavision 70 right there.
Look at Santa Claus right there on the look at him.
He kind of looks like Tommy Chong.
Kind of.
So that's a rare widescreen format, last used in the 1960s for movies like Ben-Hur. This choice gave the film its expansive cinematic feel despite being set primarily in a single location.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm hoping I get this next guy's name right. Ennio Morricone? This was his first Western score in decades. He was famous for his work on spaghetti Westerns, and he wrote the score for The Hateful Eight. It was his first original score for a Western in over 30 years.
All right.
And he won his first competitive Academy Award for it.
Hey, look at him. Good for you, sir.
Do you remember the guitar from the movie?
No.
So there's the scene where Kurt Russell smashes the crap out of that guitar. Well, that was an antique guitar from the 19th century. And it was on loan from the Martin Guitar Museum. The guitar was supposed to be swapped with a prop for the smashing scene. But the mistake resulted in the destruction of the priceless artifact.
So it was the prop guy's fault. He got fired.
I would imagine that he should have been. But as you can see, they took the guitar that was destroyed, and then they ended up. It's now under glass.
Quentin Tarantino goes, excuse me. Did you just say you did not change the prop out? Excuse me. You speak English?
That's your Quentin Tarantino.
That's my little bit of Quentin Tarantino.
Oh my God. And
are you
finally,
a fucking idiot?
The film does draw some parallels to Tarantino's debut feature film, Reservoir Dogs, in its structure and themes. Both movies feature a group of characters trapped in a single location. Although Reservoir Dogs does bounce around more. They're filled with mistrust and a violent confrontation. Some fans see The Hateful Eight as the spiritual successor to Reservoir Dogs.
All right.
Now, I'm assuming that, yes, you have seen that one.
Yeah. Saw it, I think, probably a year after it was out. I just remember Walter Goggins and
Walton Goggins. I love Walton Goggins, man. That guy's awesome. Dude, that guy's the best.
He just basically is himself in everything and gets away with it.
I don't know, man. He played what's the politically correct he? Remember in Sons of Anarchy?
Yeah. He did that because I think he liked the show and he knew
Wasn't
somebody
that
had
his
asked him.
idea?
I think so. It was like I saw him do an interview about that, and he was basically like, he was just doing it as a favor for like one of his friends that was a producer or something.
We're gonna go more into that, but I believe that was his idea to play the prostitute.
I don't even think he was credited. I think he just is in there for just that short period of time and then disappears.
All right, things that you didn't know about Bandersnatch. That's the Black Mirror sort of choose-your-own-adventure episode. It was released December 28th, 2018.
Uh-huh.
Let me actually pull the picture up there.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
I'm telling you, Frank, you got to watch Black Mirror, man. I think you would like it. Now, the non-linear structure of Bandersnatch required a Huh?
I said, oh, Jesus, just looking at that.
Yeah, that's the, so this is essentially all of the different, there's one choice here that ends the movie within 5 minutes. Or it's just done and over with. But so the nonlinear structure of Bandersnatch required a complex script with multiple branching narratives. The cast and crew had to shoot various outcomes and transitions, often filming multiple versions of the same scene to accommodate different viewer choices. Sorry, my nose itches. That's what you guys come to the live stream for, to watch me scratch my nose. But yeah, so this is essentially your full breakdown of Bandersnatch. Did you know the Black Mirror episode Bandersnatch features multiple endings, some more hidden than others? One of the most secretive paths leads to a meta ending where the protagonist, Stefan, discovers he is in a Netflix production. Another ending unlocks an audio sequence that, when played through a spectrogram, reveals a QR code leading to a fake Bandersnatch game.
What did you say his name was?
Stefan.
Stefan, like from Family Matters? Stefan?
Or, I was thinking, and here's the thing. I haven't seen the episode in a while, so I can't remember if it is Steven or Stefan. But I was thinking Stefan from Saturday Night Live.
That's it.
One of the greatest characters of all time. Let me see here. So Netflix ended up having to build custom technology. Actually, leave this one up. Custom technology for the storytelling. The episode's seamless decision points and branching paths marked one of the first large-scale applications of this format on the platform. Like, Frank, you were mentioning how there was like a random movie that would play, and people in the movie theater would get to choose the ending?
Yeah, I think it was like the 80s or 90s, late 80s, early 90s.
I'm looking this up real quick.
At some point in the past, but yeah, it was basically like the audience would choose where the movie would go. Like at certain points, the movie would pause, and the attendees in the theater would vote, and then they would switch the film to whatever won, and the movie would continue on.
Were there ever choose your own adventure movies? God, my nose is all kinds of scratchy. That Puss in Boots one is. I don't know. Somebody else look that up and put it in the comments, man. If there's if somebody else can let us know what it is that Frank's thinking of.
I think it was one of those, like, it was never put in to
like mainstream
circulation. Yeah, I think it was like tested, and like the test just it was a waste of time, and so they decided to pass on it.
Well, Bandersnatch is a part of the Black Mirror universe, and it includes subtle connections to earlier episodes. For example, Tuckersoft, the fictional game development company, is named after Tucker's News, a recurring entity in other Black Mirror stories. Now, Tuckersoft posted ads that they were hiring. This is it right here. And actually, they were looking for engineers for Netflix. Pretty brilliant, not gonna lie. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
And finally, the fictional Bandersnatch game and its troubled production draw inspiration from real-life video game history, particularly the tumultuous development of games in the 80s. The story mirrors the struggles of programmers during the early days of game design, with some nods to the infamous never-completed game The Mega Tree by Imagine Software.
Actually saw a commercial. I think it popped up in my feed, and it was for Atari. And guess which game they were promoting? It's from like 1980. Yes, it was from 1983.
Really?
And they were promoting. Yeah, it was promoting the game of Christmas, E.T.
Oh
and all
my
the comments
God.
underneath were just, "Oh man, did people not know how crappy that game was gonna be?"
If you don't know the story behind that, I don't know if we've covered that yet, but we have to cover that, because wasn't that where they found a landfill that had thousands of those games because they couldn't
Thousands
sell
of it.
them?
It's like people, you can basically find it on eBay for like maybe $1 because it's just so worthless.
It was a pretty hot garbage game. There.
Oh,
All right, Frank, here is going to be your first Marvel quiz.
oh boy. Look at that.
I
know
got to
all
line
of
this
them.
up so that I can actually see it here.
See it. Be it.
All right, so we're going to play this Marvel quiz. Frank, basically, you're going to have to tell me who these characters are. Oh, I got to get this lined up properly. There we go. All right, here is a pretty rudimentary Marvel quiz. I would assume any relative comic book fan would be able to guess who all of these characters are. So we're going to test Frank's knowledge here. Frank?
Yep.
Here we go.
All right.
Thanos.
Spider-Man. Oh, Thanos down at the bottom left
Okay. Captain America.
by Wolverine and Daredevil
Kingpin.
is right down 3 from you.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man top left.
Magneto.
He's over 1 down 2.
Okay. Daredevil.
Top right corner.
Okay. Thor.
Thor is below Spider-Man.
Okay. Hulk.
Right next to Thor.
Okay. Cyclops.
Right next to Hulk.
Dr. Octopus.
He is. Oh, is that him down there in the corner?
Where?
Oh no, excuse me, down below Magneto. He's green, and it
Right
just
there?
looked like it was green already. Yeah, my
You
bad.
got 10 seconds. Iron Man.
Right there,
Doctor Doom.
over there to the left. I'm not gonna make it in time.
Red Skull.
He's over there to the right.
Yeah, he didn't
And
make
you
it.
have Loki, Wolverine.
He spent too
and,
far on. Who's that? Oh, it says it.
That's Apocalypse. Yeah. When
Apocalypse.
it was going to Doc Ock, because everything's green when you pick it. I guess my eye associated his green with it being already filled in. So I was like, wait a minute, where the hell is Doc Ock?
All right. So for this one, I want to come up with a method for how you can tell me where it is. So We're going to
I
go.
could just read them out next time.
What do you mean
Just
read
I
them
could
out?
just I would just straight read them out like Spider-Man, Wolverine, and Captain America,
No, because you
Daredevil,
have to
even if
select the name.
right, I get that, but it's like,
Well,
I mean,
we have to abide by the Sporcle quiz, Frank.
oh Lord.
So what I'm thinking of here is that this will
1,
be
2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, and then A, B, C, D. So this is 1A. This is that's going to be too difficult.
We could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
No, that's going to be too much for me to. I'm trying to think of how we can break this down. Or like so let's say Cyclops would be
First row 1.
Huh?
You could go like first row 1, you go second row 1, third row. So you'd be like just 1, 2, 3, 4 across, and you
So
go
first
like
row,
first row.
so first row 1 is Spider-Man.
Right, or first row 4, and then it'd be like second row
would
1
be
is
Daredevil.
Thor, and right. Well, yeah, but you get my drift. Like they're all 1 through 4, but they're just different rows.
So then what would Loki
Row
be?
1, you would be number 3 on row 3.
Okay. Let's try it. You ready?
All right, yeah.
I'm bringing this one over.
Oh Lord.
Get it all lined up here. Okay.
Oh well, wow.
All right.
I know all of them.
All right, simple Marvel quiz here, but we're going to see if Frank can guess who are all these pictures. I'm going to click play quiz. It's going to give me a name, and he has to tell me where they're located on this graph. Here we go, Frank. Ant-Man.
He is row 2, number 4.
Black Widow.
Row 1, number 3.
Got it. Ultron.
Is row 4, 1.
Mystique.
Is row 3, 3.
MODOK.
Row 4, 4.
Hawkeye.
Well, 1, 4.
Thing.
1, 2.
Black Panther.
3 or 2, 3.
Juggernaut.
He is 4, 3.
Green
He's actually
Goblin.
a lot taller than that. He is 3, 1.
Galactus.
4, 1 or 1 3, 4.
Venom.
Is 4, 2.
Storm.
1, 1.
Sabretooth.
3, 2.
Nick Fury.
2, 1.
Doctor Strange.
2, 2.
Hey! Because we didn't get the last one, so congratulations, Frank. You are a true Marvel fan.
By 2 seconds.
All right.
Galactus is showing up in Fantastic Four. Watch out, people.
Oh, I thought I had another one loaded up. Oh, well. That's all for the... I thought I had another Marvel one. We'll get to that later, though. Moving on there, Frank.
Moving on.
Frank, we're moving on, buddy.
Moving on. Ding, 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 ding,
Things
ding,
that you
ding,
did not
ding.
know about the movie 12 Monkeys. The movie was released on December 29th, 1995. It had a budget of $29 million and made $168.8 million at the box office. Now, did you know that it was inspired by a French short film?
All right.
No idea if I'm going to say this correctly, but La Jetée?
La
La
Jetée.
Jetée?
La Jetée.
It was a French experimental short film by Chris Marker. Both films explore themes of time travel and memory, with La Jetée famously told almost entirely through still photographs.
Okay.
Oof. Yeah, that sounds rough. Did you know 12 Monkeys director Terry Gilliam imposed a unique rule on Bruce Willis? He was not allowed to use any of his signature mannerisms,
Okay.
like his smirk or action hero confidence. This was done to ensure that Willis fully embodied the vulnerability of his character, James Cole.
Oh, doesn't he know it's kind of hard for Bruce Willis not the Bruce Willis?
I mean, I thought he did a pretty good job in 12 Monkeys. Madeline Stowe? I always get her
Yeah.
name wrong.
Yeah, you got
So
it.
to prepare for her role as Dr. Catherine Rayleigh, she attended lectures and observed therapy sessions by real-life psychiatrists. Her goal was to accurately portray a professional grappling with a patient who may or may not be delusional. This movie still confuses the crap out of me, by the way. I was trying to... I don't remember what was happening while I was watching it, and I've gone back and tried to read the Wikipedia plot synopsis, and holy Moses!
Throw you off.
Good
When
Lord!
does Brad Pitt show up?
Right there.
There he is.
So Brad Pitt prepared for his role by attending a psychiatric institution to study patients with mental health conditions. His performance earned him a Golden Globe and an Academy Award nomination, marking a turning point in his career from heartthrob to critically acclaimed actor.
I like the bubble on Willis's back. It just
right there?
shows up, yeah.
And finally, in the film, the plague that devastates humanity begins in 1996 and wipes out most of the population. This near-future timeline created a sense of urgency for contemporary audiences, but also made the film's dystopian elements feel particularly eerie when viewed in the years following its release.
I just remember when Vid happened, that was one of the top movies that was being watched on streaming networks.
Yeah.
Was 12 Monkeys.
All right. Let's see.
Vid.
I feel like switching the music up a little bit here, Frank. What do we want to go with here?
Didn't like the Mighty Mighty Boss Stones. That was just one.
You like that? That's one of my favorites. I do like that one.
I saw them live. They actually put on a hell of a show.
Oh, I can imagine that they would be just nonstop.
Supposed to be Green Day, but they bailed the night or two before, and so the Boss Stones decided to play in their place. They did a good job.
Did you know that I never had to knock on wood?
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you ought to.
Starting to think you didn't understand the joke.
No, I got you. I just forgot the lyric to the song.
All right, John Voight quiz time.
Woohoo! Urban Cowboy.
All right, so can you pick the words missing from the John Voight movies? Frank, I'm going to click play quiz, and we are going to roll. Here we go.
Yep, here we go.
Dracula the Blank Prince.
Dark.
September Blank.
Oh. Dawn.
Ooh, Blank Road.
Glory.
Blank Lessons.
American. No. Deadly.
Ooh, good save. Blank Cowboy.
Midnight.
There you go. Varsity Blank.
Blues.
The Blank File.
Odessa.
And Blank Carol.
American.
Yeah. Blank Train.
Runaway.
Blank Treasure.
National. I actually did.
Nailed
I didn't
it,
think
Frank.
I'd do that. All right.
Nailed it. 100% on John Voight, of all people.
Way to go to John Voight.
Yeah, way to go, Frank.
And he once owned a car that George Costanza had.
But that John Voight was a dentist.
Yep.
Oh my God, I'm so happy today because isn't today Festivus?
Yeah, they actually they had that episode on, I think, Comedy Central at
Yeah,
7 o'clock.
I haven't needed to watch it because my timeline on Instagram and everything is just flooded with nothing but Seinfeld. It's glorious. It's
actually
absolutely glorious.
A couple years ago from Walmart, I got some Seinfeld glasses, and it's all Christmas stuff, and one of them is Festivus, and it has, Costanza's dad standing there with the pole yelling Happy Festivus.
Somehow we got a whole Seinfeld Festivus pack at the radio station, and I got it.
Nice.
And it included a little pole, and around it were buttons that would play audio from the episode.
All right.
Because Festivus is going to continue on until you pin me, George.
It's now the airing of grievances.
Oh my God. I got a lot of problems with you people.
You're gonna hear him.
What does he say when he's talking to Kruger? And he's like, "You couldn't shine your way out of a silk sheet with it."
And then he stops.
I've lost my train of thought.
I lost my train of thought. Yep.
Oh man, it's such a good episode. H&H Bagels. Yeah. This must be the ugly girl I keep hearing about.
You're Dr. Van Helsing, right? Well, yeah.
Nostrin. Van Nostrin.
Nostrin, yeah.
Dr. Van Nostrin. All right. All right, 2025 is going to see a lot of movies celebrating anniversaries.
Ooh.
And we're going back in this clip to 1985. I have 4 movies that I had AI write a really crappy description of.
Mm-hmm.
And with that description, Frank has to guess what movie it's describing. All right. Can you guess this movie released in 1985 based on a poorly written synopsis by AI? A teenager borrower... Fuck, I gotta start it over. A teenager borrows a weird car. That's why I'm trying to drink the Gatorade from my throat, man. It's been brutal.
Brutal. Oh.
Brutal. A teenager borrows a weird car from his wild-haired friend and accidentally takes the longest detour home by about 30 years. He meets his parents but realizes they have relationship issues. To avoid disappearing from existence, he becomes their love coach while dodging trouble and inventing new hobbies for fun.
Back to the Future.
There it is. Why does it keep coming out small, goddammit?
Yeah, that's what she said.
There you go. God, my voice. All right, next one. Can you guess this movie released in 1985 based on a poorly written synopsis by AI? 5 strangers meet at school on a weekend for mysterious reasons. They sit in a room, Fuck, I can't talk. Well, I want to try to isolate these out for clips, and it's brutal when I can't get through the fucking read. Occasionally glaring at each other while a grumpy man watches them. Eventually, they dance, argue, share secrets, and make questionable fashion choices. By the end, they somehow feel like best friends. What's the
That
movie,
is The Breakfast Club.
You are correct, sir. I like how he's smoking in the library, by the way.
You know, I mean, it was the 80s.
That's true. All right, next one. Can you guess this movie released in 1985 based on a poorly written synopsis by AI? A man-child with a red bike has his life turned upside down when it goes missing. He embarks on a bizarre cross-country journey encountering cowboys, ghosts, and truckers. Along the way, he dances in a bar and talks to animals, convinced his missing ride is the key to happiness.
Pee-wee. Tell him Large Marge sent ya.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure, baby.
It's a wild movie.
All right, here we go. We got one more. Can you guess this movie released in 1985 based on a poorly written synopsis by AI? A group of kids find a crumpled paper that sends them into a long basement adventure. Along the way, they dodge booby traps, argue over shiny things, and make friends with a guy who loves chocolate. Meanwhile, a family of suspicious bakers tries to ruin their fun.
Bakers? It's Goonies.
Yeah, it is. Well, it's a restaurant, right?
Yeah. So they did try to claim they were the owners of or proprietors of said restaurant.
Yeah,
so.
that's true.
They got the broken down one with freaking cobwebs that had been there for 30 years. But hey, what do you know? The kids are stupid. The Fortellis.
The Fratellis.
I thought it was Fratellis, and then I was like, it's not Fratellis, it's Tor. Should have listened to my left brain on that
Fratelli, man.
Should have listened to my left brain.
All right. We are moving on to 1990. These movies turning 35 years old. Coming up in 2025. Can you guess this movie released in 1990 based on a poorly written synopsis by AI?
Do it.
A guy really likes hanging out with his friends and running errands for his neighbors. Over time, his chores get fancier, but everyone starts arguing. His friends get mad at each other. Someone loses track of a bunch of sauce, and helicopters make him nervous.
Oh, what year was this from?
1990.
Okay, it's Goodfellas.
Yeah.
For some reason, I was thinking you said 89.
2025 is coming up, and all of these.
Yeah, I don't know. I was stuck in the 80s for a second there.
There you go.
Why'd we want to leave?
All right, next one. Can you guess this movie, released in 1990, based on a poorly written synopsis by AI? A guy takes a vacation without leaving home, but it turns out he might have already been on vacation, or maybe he was working. His wife is upset, people chase him, and there's a lot of confusion about whether or not he should trust his own memories.
Total Recall.
Yeah!
I didn't know where that was going for a minute. I was sitting there like, wait, what?
That one's pretty crazy, right?
Yeah, that one kind of almost got me. I was like trying to figure out where that was going.
I'm trying to figure out the best way to get AI to write these things, but I left out the last line. You want to know what the last line was?
What was that?
Mars is involved.
Okay, yeah, that would have given it to me. That would have definitely, that would have done it.
All right, can you guess this movie released in 1990 based on a poorly written synopsis by AI? A guy who's really good at driving in circles has trouble with authority, makes a few enemies, and crashes into things a lot. He teams up with someone older who gives him advice, falls for someone smart, and eventually wins something. Tires are very important to the story.
One more time?
A guy who's really good at driving in circles has trouble with authority.
Oh, Days of Thunder.
There you go.
Got it.
What finally tipped it for you?
Well, I was
Driving in circles.
The driving in circles. I was thinking of like a bike movie at first, and then because you went with tires, and so when you went back and reset that, I really focused in on the driving in circles, and that's what got it for me.
Well, maybe this time I'll only give you one read. We could do that.
Oh, Lord.
All right, here we go. Can you guess this movie released in 1990 based on a poorly written synopsis by AI? A bearded guy takes a long boat ride with a bunch of stressed out coworkers. Another guy in glasses really wants to talk to him, but has to convince his boss first. There's a lot of whispering, blinking lights, and everyone seems worried about bumping into something underwater. This one's tough.
One more time?
A bearded guy takes a long boat ride with a bunch of stressed out coworkers. Another guy in glasses really wants to talk to him, but has to convince his boss first. There's a lot of whispering, blinking lights, and everyone seems worried about bumping into something underwater.
The Abyss.
First miss, man. First miss. You ready?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
I had to pick.
Dude, I was lost.
I had to pick
Hunt on that one.
I had to pick Hunt for Red October because you always talk about Sean Connery playing the Russian who just does a Scottish accent.
I was completely I was lost on that, dude. I was thinking like not like a sub. I was thinking an actual boat. And I'm trying to remember movies from the 90s that had boats, or from 90 that had a boat. I could not think of anything.
Oh, good. Well, that stumped you. I'm so glad we stumped you. All right. Where do we want to start here? Let's go down here. Hold on. Do it again.
Wo ist der Hunt for Red October?
All right. The following movies are going to be turning 30 years old in 2025. I have 4 movies with poorly written. Is it synopsises? Synopsi?
Synopsis?
What's the plural for synopsis? Anyway, I had AI write this crap up. So we're going to see if Frank can guess all of these movies. Can you guess this movie, released in 1995, based on a poorly written synopsis by AI?
Mm-hmm.
2 detectives investigate some messy crime scenes, but it's all very symbolic. One detective is new to the job and asks a lot of questions. The other is very tired of everything. There's a lot of rain, and in the end, a surprise package that really changes things.
So what George wanted to call his kid, it is 7.
Hey-oh, there you go.
The symbols gave it away real quick.
Yeah. All right, next one here, Frank. Can you guess this movie that was released in 1995 based on a poorly written synopsis by AI? A methodical organizer runs a sparkly building where noisy visitors lose money. His hot-headed ally stirs trouble, drawing unwanted attention from suspicious outsiders. A glamorous companion causes constant headaches. Torn between lavish living and freedom, tensions escalate, culminating in big betrayals, hidden deals, and a sandy finale nobody saw coming.
That is Casino.
You are correct, sir.
Well, I just want to say real quick, in that movie, when Joe Pesci and his friend are outside and they're covering their mouth and they're walking on the sidewalk.
Yep.
There's a scene where the camera's from far away and shooting at them. And there's this old guy that just walks through the scene and they're like, hey, who the hell's this guy? Who the hell's this guy? What the hell's this? Is he a cop? That old guy did not want to wait for them to shoot. He had somewhere to go. So he just basically walked in the middle of the scene. And so Joe Pesci, just being Joe Pesci, just plays along with like, who's this guy? Who the fuck's this guy? Is this guy a cop?
That's when you get some of the best, remember, I'm walking here, like that.
I'm walking here. But yes, so that old guy was not part of the movie. He just did not want to stand on the side and wait.
Don't blame him. All right, here we go. Can you guess? Let me make sure I'm in the right spot here. Okay. Can you guess this movie, released in 1995, based on a poorly written synopsis by AI? A guy gets really mad about his freedom and decides to yell a lot. He wears face paint, gives inspirational speeches, and leads a bunch of people on a very intense walking tour. There's a lot of fighting, some betrayals, and a horse or two involved.
Braveheart!
There you go, at a kid. That's another one there. Like, remember how I was mentioning earlier about wanting to be able to just like have that Ron Swanson birthday? Where you just get to sit with, a steak, some whiskey, and a movie. Braveheart would be another one. It's Tombstone and Braveheart. That'd be the ultimate. All right, Frank. Wait, where did I stop that? Hold on here. Can you name this movie that was released in 1995 based on a poorly written synopsis by AI?
What?
A kid vanishes while playing a dusty, forbidden pastime with a friend. Years later, two siblings stumble upon the same pastime, unleashing incredible chaos, rampaging scary creatures, wild weather, and unexpected guests, turning the house upside down. An older stranger returns, determined to finish the pastime once and for all.
For a second there, I was lost, but now I'm found. That is Jumanji.
Hey, kid! Hi, monkey! And my little puppy dog decided to show up here.
Yeah.
Hi, come here. Want to say hi? Oof, see how big she is now?
Look at that.
Hi, monkey. How are you? Oh, kisses. No, we're not going to do the headphones. Again, I could totally do a live stream of me just playing with my dog. Almost done. I'm almost done, and then we'll play, okay? We'll go run in the backyard, okay? Hold on there, monkey. All right, Frank. We have moved on to the year 2000. Oh man, that whatever pitch you're hitting, your microphone keeps cutting out.
Oh.
Yeah, it cuts it out every time. All right, but here's what we're doing. So all of these movies, I have 4 of them, are turning 25 years old in 2025. I had AI write a crappy synopsis of all of these, and Frank is going to have to guess what the movie is based on the synopsis. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Can you guess this movie released in 2000 based on a poorly written synopsis by AI? A respected warrior is betrayed by a twisted heir, losing his home and status. Forced into brutal contests for an eager crowd, he awaits revenge. Meanwhile, the cunning ruler sees him as a threat. Fate pits them against each other, deciding honor, freedom, and the imminent future of an empire.
That is Gladiator.
Atta kid.
I am the Gladiator.
My name is Maximus
sequel-
Decimus Meridius. My name is Jeff.
Sequel kind of bombed.
They had it on at somebody's house, and we were kind of watching it. I mean, it looked okay, but I'm glad I went and watched Wicked. All right. Here we go. I had to burp first.
Rippity weep.
Can you guess this movie that was released in 2000 based on a poorly written synopsis by AI? An edgy drifter with extraordinary reflexes meets a teen who drains energy from others. A quiet mentor invites them to a hidden academy for gifted outcasts. Meanwhile, a metal-bending radical is determined to accelerate evolution by extreme means, forcing these misfits to unite, all while wearing matching black leather outfits.
The X-Men.
Yeah, some of these I need to work on because some of them is just like a metal bending radical. Oh, I wonder who that is.
Yeah, the metal bending really tipped it there.
Yeah. All right, we got two more here for the year 2000. Frank, are you ready for this?
Go for it.
Can you guess this movie released in 2000 based on a poorly written synopsis by AI? A smug professional navigates a superficial world. Fuck, I can't speak, dude. Can you guess this movie released in 2000 based on a poorly written synopsis by AI? A smug professional navigates a superficial world of fancy suits, polished morning routines, and competitive dinner reservations. He obsesses over impeccable appearances and becomes furious about the tiniest details, ranting about music and pointing out flaws around him. In the shadows, unsavory nighttime habits blur what's real and what's imagined.
That is American Psycho.
Yeah, it is.
That's like the newest meme out there right now. Is him walking with his headphones on, and it's me walking with my music and the music playing, and it just, whatever insert whatever
bop.
music. That or an old TV series theme like Golden Girls or
Believe
Cheers.
it or not, I'm walking on air.
It's like that. It's like the whole thing now. If you go on Instagram, your feed will just be flooded with that.
All right, here we go. Last one for the year 2000, Frank.
Yep.
Can you guess this movie that was released in the year 2000 based on a poorly written synopsis by AI? A nervous guest tries to impress his significant other's stern father during a tense weekend visit. He bungles everyday tasks, leads accidental disasters, and finds himself under constant scrutiny. A watchful cat, awkward questions, and a suspicious father figure pushes tensions higher as he scrambles to earn the family's trust.
That is Meet the Parents.
That is. So overall, we just did 16 of these. 85, 90, 95, 2000. Frank got 15 of them. Not bad.
Only
Oh, and
missed the Hunt
Delight
for
Loves
Redico.
Movies just popped into the chat. Hello, Delight. Where did my dog go?
Check under your seat.
Ah, Christ. I don't know. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds. We still have to do the Mel Gibson movie draft. Give me 1 second.
Mel Gibson.
Yeah, man. What are you doing? Hey, don't be there. I don't want to roll over you. Okay? Oh, this dog.
A damn dog.
Yes, get this fucking dog out of here. All right. Here we go, Frank. Last segment before Christmas. Movie draft time, and we're talking Mel Gibson on this one as he celebrates a birthday January 3rd, 1956. We're switching this up. I will go first. Frank will go second, and then we're going to go to the IMDb ranking page to finish it out. And what we're trying to do is we are trying to create the ultimate triple feature for Mel Gibson movies, but we're doing it draft style. So once somebody picks a movie, that thing's gone. Nobody else gets to pick it. So my first movie, I'm going to see if Frank can guess what it is.
Braveheart.
Atta kid.
Never
Such a
take
good movie.
our freedom.
That's right. It's my island. All right.
Boy, oiling.
What is your first choice for Mel Gibson?
We will go with the other Christmas movie, Lethal Weapon.
Was that the first one or the second one?
The first one was at Christmas, remember?
Was it? For some reason, I thought it was the second one.
The second one might have been as well, but the first one definitely was. Because remember, Anthony Kiedis' dad is selling cocaine in the Christmas tree parking lot.
Was that in the movie or did that happen in real life?
Probably both.
Oh. They just filmed what he was doing.
They just filmed it happening.
All right, and then we're going to IMDb for the next two choices. The first one that they are going with is The Road Warrior.
All right. Guy's got the power glove on over there.
And the second one, what do you think that it would pick? What do you think? So essentially, Braveheart was ranked number 1. The Road Warrior's number 2. Lethal Weapon's number 4. What do you think is the third?
Lethal Weapon 2?
No.
Huh. Chicken.
I swear to God.
Hey.
I swear to God.
All right. Way to go, IMDb.
Now you get to go. You get to go next, Frank. You get to what's your second choice for your Mel Gibson movie draft?
Damn, well, they took my chicken run. That's totally what I was going to pick.
No, it wasn't.
No, I actually had forgotten that he did that movie. I'm going to go with the movie that still scares me to this day. I'm going to go with Signs.
Ooh, good pick. Good pick.
That was wild seeing that in theaters
I've never
back in the
actually
day.
seen it.
Oh, boy, you got to give it a watch. It's good.
All right, now I do get to go back to back. So I'm going to go serious movie, comedy, serious movie.
Okay.
Start with Maverick.
That is a good movie. I enjoy Maverick. I didn't realize it was based off a TV series that James Garner was
in, yeah. So I'm going with Maverick first. And again, apparently I got a really crappy
Small
poster
picture.
here for it. And then for the next one, I'm going with
Payback.
Love this movie, man. This was a few months ago. I think I brought it up on the live stream where I just randomly thought about it. And I was already laying in bed and it was already like 11:30 at night, which is way past my bedtime. And I looked it up on like justwatch.com where you can find out where it's streaming. I found it streaming and then I watched the whole goddamn movie. I went to bed at like 2
There
a.m.
you go.
All right. Frank, what's your third choice for Mel Gibson?
Well, there's one that I'll put in as I'm not going to choose this one, but if you haven't seen The Professor and the Madman with him and Sean Penn, it came out I think like 2019, and it was at that time when Mel Gibson was still trying to rebuild his career again. That is a very good movie. It's really overlooked, but both of them act their asses off in it. But I'm actually, I want to go with We Were Soldiers, but I'm going to go with The Patriot because everybody quotes The Patriot so much.
Interesting.
Aim small, miss small.
All right. So now we're going to go down to the next one on the list for IMDb. But first, we need to get to some honorable mentions here. Here's this one we brought it before. I think we did the Julia Roberts movie draft. And this is a highly underrated movie. It's worth checking out. Another one that I'm really surprised didn't get picked. Come on, you remember?
Give me back my son!
Here's your We Were Soldiers.
That's such a good movie, too. The extended version is wild. My uncle actually met the actual colonel. Is it a colonel that movie was on? Colonel Moore. He said the guy, that Colonel Moore was even at his age, this was like in the 80s, like he was even even a hard badass at that time, and he was probably in his 60s or 70s at that point.
Here's one that I think that more people need to see. I'm willing to bet you have seen this one. The Man Without a Face.
No, that's a good one. Him and that's so. I mean, I wouldn't say like a dark movie, but it's wild. You could put it that way.
He
did a good job with it.
I was gonna say definitely check it out. But then for the third choice for the IMDb one, it's going with Lethal Weapon 2.
What was the movie with him and Elijah Wood where he's like the time traveler?
I don't even remember.
That was a pretty decent movie too. I think it's Jamie Lee Curtis might have been in it as well.
Jamie Lee Curtis. All right, here are our triple features for Mel Gibson movies. We have Braveheart, Maverick, and Payback. That's my triple feature. Frank has Lethal Weapon, Signs, and The Patriot. And then according to the IMDb rankings, it's The Road Warrior, Chicken Run, and Lethal Weapon 2. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for the live stream. And let me rock and roll here. We'll get a little bit of a... Have yourselves a happy, safe Christmas. Make sure that you guys are driving safe. Be alert out there on the roads. If it's icy conditions wherever you are living, then don't drive, please. We want everybody around. I'm going to give the same spiel next week. Again, we're on Monday. Normally, we're on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, but with the holidays coming up, Christmas being on a Wednesday, New Year's Day is on a Wednesday, we're going to be rocking and rolling on Mondays, and then it's going to actually be... back to Wednesdays then after that. So let me double check here. So today's the 23rd. We're going to be on the 30th, but then we're going to be back on again following on the 8th on a Wednesday. Oh, and Icky is going to be joining us next week as well, as we're going to cover a variety of topics. We're going to celebrate albums that are having big anniversaries in 2025. So we're going to look at albums. I wasn't a huge music person when I was a kid, like when I was 5. So I think we're just going to skip it. 1985. Maybe not. We'll take a look. But most likely to be like 1990, 95, 2000, and 2005. And we're going to celebrate those. And I gotta figure out how we can do a game similar to what we did tonight, where I had AI poorly kind of give a synopsis for the movies. I want to figure out how we can do that with music, with Icky obviously being a pretty big music guy. Still working in radio at NRQ in Eugene, Oregon, which is where I had my first paying gig in radio. But on that note, Frank, you have yourself a fantastic Christmas, my man.
Hey, everybody have a good Merry Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. Festivus. Go nuts, Festivus
for the rest of us. And by the way, as you were doing that, I just figured out an easier way for me to control the volume of the music.
There you go.
The little scroller ball here on my mouse. Son of a bitch. It's
always good to scroll the balls, lady.
My God. See, look at that. Oh.
Look what we learned.
You learn something new every day. But yeah, we'll check you guys out next